I wanted to talk about something that happened recently in a Facebook support group. So this is Married to Autism. I have a Facebook support group linked below. It's kind of my pet project, mainly because I realised that I was in this boat all alone and felt, as I said in my previous video, really isolated. And I hated that that could be the experience of others out there, and wanted a space where people could come together and find others to support and help them in their situations. The group is not so much Cassandra's and talking about the dark side to our relationship. It's more about offering support. So people might want to create a group or meet face to face or something like that. And recently in the group, somebody made a comment about not knowing whether they wanted to have children with their partner because that child could turn out to be on the spectrum. And there was a number of supportive comments in there, a few little bits and pieces about genetics, and the odd comment or two about lead and vaccines and a few other causes of autism. And that kind of exploded a little bit in that a number of members took offence to causes being discussed because none of us are experts, and a number of the articles and things out there are false. If we take the vaccines, the doctor who originally said that was proven to be not telling the truth, and he lost his doctorate license, and yet people still quote his study as fact. And so, according to other experts, time and time again, vaccines have been proven to not be the cause of autism. But anyway, in this particular group, it hit a nerve, and I would suggest that that is because the group itself isn't about cause, in that cause is not very supportive. It doesn't help. If I find out the cause of my husband's autism was because he had lead paint exposure in the 70s, and he still got autism, the cause doesn't help me in my situation. It's not supportive in that it'll ever help me in any way. The knowing of it. There are spaces and places to talk about the types of things that may be contributing to people being on the spectrum, but this group isn't one of them. And the other thing too is that it seems to be a lot of neurotypicals talking about how we need to find the causes of autism so we can eliminate it, and that feels a little bit ableist. It's easy for a neurotypical who's going through a world that's made for them to talk about how somebody else who's different, we should rethink having them even be allowed to exist. Feels really, I mean, you feel it, as I'm saying that, you feel it. And I can understand, obviously, it's a struggle being in a relationship with them, and we think to ourselves, man, if autism didn't exist, the struggle would be gone. And there could be people on the spectrum who think, oh man, I really don't like being autistic, I wish there was a cure, I don't like being this way. But are they not liking being that way because of the world that they live in that doesn't allow them to be the way they are? I don't know. When I speak to my husband and son about being on the spectrum, and I say to them, if you knew having children meant that your children would be autistic, would that mean you didn't have children? They have both said it wouldn't affect them, they'd still want children. So it feels a bit ableist, neurotypical to be saying autistic people need to be wiped out. Oh, sorry, I'm not laughing at that concept, I'm laughing at the fact that it's such a strange concept to want. Sounds very Hitler trying to wipe out the Jews, actually, like really dark. So yeah, I can understand people wanting to know the genetic side of it, the causes, I mean, it's a curious subject. I'm curious about it myself, but not in a way that I want to find ways to remove autism. If autistic people all rise up and say we want you to find a cure for autism, that's them. This is their deal. I feel like it's not for me as a neurotypical to push that agenda. Doesn't feel like it's my battle. I have a different battle, and that is trying to work out my relationship with my partner and my son and make sure that they live, you know, as decent a lives as they can, as well as also trying to look after myself. But I do wonder about the causes. I do wonder if there's like a, you know, the BRCA gene for breast cancer. I wonder if there's a gene that people on the spectrum have that they pass down. But even in saying that, knowing that there's a BRCA gene doesn't mean that anybody's been able to eliminate it. It just means that people with it can then decide what they want to do with that information. So I do wonder if there is a gene, a specific type of, part of the chromosome that makes it happen. I do wonder if elements within the world are contributing to it. You know, lead in petrol, plastics. I mean, we do have a lot of harmful things that we come into contact every day. I mean, that's part of my actual, that's the business side of me. I deal with that sort of thing from a business perspective. The safety around chemicals, additives, preservatives and such in all of the things that we consume, be it beauty products, food, clothing, etc. So I do wonder about those elements. Do they play a part? The fact that we're exposed to them more, are they an issue? But for me to talk about those things within this particular group would feel out of line, because it's primarily a support group and not a let's find the cause of autism and eradicate it group. Anyway, so that did happen. And I just wanted to talk about that and put that out there. If you're really passionate about the cause of autism, that's, I guess, pretty cool for you. I can see why people are curious and passionate about that, but I can also see why some people get upset by the concept of suggesting that a certain demographic stop existing because it's unliked and disliked by others. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Kind of a, what do you call it? Dangerous topic, but still, comment below. Love to hear from you. What do you think about this? And thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I really do appreciate it.